Here, Bootlegger Guitar. I'm looking something up here real quick. Just give me a second to. I hope you're all doing well in this Christmas season. Uh, Cheers to everybody in every possible faith and religion who are part of the holiday season. But for me, it is and will always still be Christmas. So, Merry Christmas. And let's see here. Well, I'm going to start. I don't want to bore you guys. I'm Chuck Wilson again, Bootlegger Guitar. I should have already had this figured out. The reason I'm live right now, I've had all kinds of problems, audio, video, trying to get my live stream set up correctly out of the Bootlegger Lounge here. At the moment, it's quiet, so I wanted to do another video live stream to just put some information out there. And what I'll do is I'll post this picture I'm looking for after I do the video. Um, my friend, the first bootlegger artist ever, was my friend Mike Pinera. Mike just recently passed, which is a good thing because he was ill for a while. So much as I miss my friend, sometimes passing on, can be a good thing if the person's not really enjoying life. But Mike was one of the most likable, lovable characters I will ever know. Mike was the beginning touring band of Iron Butterfly, made famous by live In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida song. He wasn't on the first album. I guess after the initial album of Iron Butterfly, they broke up, or at least some of the band members did, and they inserted Mike in as the lead guitar player and singer and frontman for Iron Butterfly. So most people who have seen Iron Butterfly live, they saw Mike Pinera. Um, he That was, I believe, his first you know, big band touring. I mean, he played in front of huge crowds, like festivals. They headlined 100,000 people. He played in, I saw, the great 60s, 70s posters for concerts. Bands like Jefferson Airplane, Led Zeppelin, um, The Who, just a few in my mind that he played, like they headlined the event, and those were the bands, that were not headlining the event but were at the festival. So Iron Butterfly at a time was really, really big, and Mike was really, really big, and Mike was making great money. He lived up in Malibu with his wife Valerie, and legend has it, and his stories, all the rock stars came through his home, and he let people stay there. Um, he was just bringing in money, and I guess he was both generous with it and spending it quickly as well, which is not unusual, right? And when I met him years later, after Iron Butterfly, then he formed Blues Image and had the big hit of Ride Captain Ride, which was indeed taken from the Star Trek era, and Captain Kirk is what he was telling me he was watching when he wrote it. And other bands like Cactus, which was a killer, instrumental based band, and then years with the Alice Cooper band. So I saw Mike playing with Alice Cooper. Uh, I, Most of you know I live in like Redondo Beach, down in Orange County area, and Alice's shows were amazing. And at that time, 20 years ago, Mike was the head guitar player in his band. I believe there were two. I think he usually has two guitar players. Anyway, Mike, Alice takes his break mid-show, and then Mike did two songs, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida and Ride Captain Ride. It was amazing. He's this tall dude from Florida. He always says he was Cuban. And he had a lot of friends and connections down in Florida. So as a young man, he played the Chitlin circuit. So, he left Florida, went down south, and played a lot of blues clubs. And that wasn't common with white guitar players back then. So, Mike has had a real interesting life. Um, when I met him, it was just at a function that he was attending, and my good friend Greg Albin, drummer, who was playing with Mike at the time, introduced me to Mike, and we just hit it off. I mean, the the three of us just kind of became, uh, sometimes you just have like knucklehead friends in your life, and I mean, Mike was a smart guy, but he was also a kid that just liked to have fun. And Greg, a very serious professional man, but he also enjoys having a good time. So the three of us started playing together, doing different things, and somebody called us the Hamsters. I don't know what happened, but Pinera always used to love saying that he's a member of the Hamster Club. Me, Greg, and Mike. So we would, whenever you see each other, hey Hamst, or whatever. Nobody had any idea what we're talking about. But at that time, I was playing back 20, 10 to 20 years ago. I was playing local blues clubs around the beach in LA. Mike would always come and sit in. Now, here's a guy that played in front of hundreds of thousands, 100,000 people. And he just loved hanging out and coming to my gigs, at some dump bar with, 5 to 20 people there. And Mike would be the first up, and we'd have him play with us. And he just, no matter what he did or where he played, he gave 100% energy, and he just killed it. And everybody just loved to see Mike. Mike has been called one of the greatest or one of the better guitar players from his era. He is a killer guitar player. I don't know about all that, but I've read different things about that he was back in the Young Butterfly days and such. He was highly thought of as a great rock guitar player. So Mike was playing with me, and in small clubs and venues, and then he would get a gig, like he did once in West Virginia, and we he asked me if I wanted to go. Not all the gigs would pay for a band, but this one was. So Mike was able to bring his band out. So I went, got to play the gig. We had the gentleman. I'll put his name in the video. He co-wrote "Live and Let Die" with Paul McCartney. He was kind of thought of as a Beatle-esque person. But Paul used him in Wings. I'll put his name up. He was there as a guest artist. So I'm playing with him and Mike, and we're doing "Live and Let Die," which was that was crazy. I think it's 3 chords, very easy to do. And then of course we would do In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, and I would make it funky, and Mike would always look at me and laugh at me because I couldn't stand just sitting there like, dun, dun, dun. So I'd be going wacka 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 in the background, and he would look at me and start cracking up. Um, and let's see, once my brother's mother-in-law was having a birthday party. I said, "Hey man, Mike, we're going up to play this birthday party. I'm busy this weekend." He goes, "I'll go." So Mike ends up going and playing in front of like 20 people at this lady's 50th birthday party at a house. That was Mike Pinera. I even once, he had a car he lost. I said, "Hey, Mike, where's your car?" Because he was late for one of our shows that we did together. And he goes, "I lost it." All right. So I had an old junker. So I said, "Hey, you can take my spare, but you need to register it in your name and stuff. I don't want to deal with it anymore. You can just have it to drive around town." So I took him to the DMV, got it registered in his name. Whole time there, he's a rock star. I mean, dressed, just being Mike Pinera. Like Mike would be like, "Perhaps you've heard of me," Iron Butterfly and stuff to people. It was just so funny. So I got in the car. 6 months later, "Mike, where's the car?" He goes, "Oh, I lost it." How do you lose 2 cars? Well, parking tickets. Oh, that was Mike. So he was a fixture, became a fixture around my area. He and his wife would just rent rooms because, unfortunately, he gave his money away. He helped other people who had problems, and he would spend it. So, um, I mean, he slept many nights on my couch in my house. He said he lived with Jimi Hendrix in London when they were both in London. I don't doubt that at all. He said Jimmy was just a really cool guy, very shy, and that he and I jammed a lot and such. So whenever I'd be around Mike, if we weren't doing anything, he just wanted to jam. So he and I jammed a lot. I do have some videos and stuff I'll put out of him and I. But he was also my first bootlegger artist. He loved bootlegger guitar, promoted bootlegger guitar, played my guitar at NAMM, the National Association of Music Merchants, on the main stage. That was a proud moment in my life to be at NAMM and see one of my guitars being played on the main stage. So on Google, Mike Pinera, Pinera. He has a Wikipedia page as well. If you love 60s, 70s rock, the beginning of hard rock with Iron Butterfly. If you dig Ride Captain Ride, he co-wrote that with Blues Image, his band. And there's a lot about Mike Pinera that people should know about. And I'm going to do some more videos about him. But I just want to say, love you, brother. Miss you. And I'm trying to keep your spirit alive. All right. Thank you, Chuck Wilson, Bootlegger Guitar.